Just waiting for people to turn up, just checking things are working. Testing the audio. Just testing the audio. Hello everybody. Start in a sec. Need to start putting a Christmas hat on this guy. It's nearly that time of the year. I can't quite get into it before December though. Okay, welcome again to another live stream of Hunter the Reptorians. So this is something I'm doing every week to just show off progress that I'm making on the game. I'm trying to get a playtest out for a Christmas playtest. That's my little aim. So the next few weeks are probably going to be more along the stability, bug fixes, stability, UX, tutorials, that sort of thing. But I'm going to carry on trying to add cards as I go, because I would quite like to reach 40 cards. Because every card I add adds depth, and I can feel it every time I add one. It makes the game more fun. Every time I do one of these, it's more fun because I've got more cards to play with. So while people are still coming in, I am going to just go over what I was working on last week. So a couple new cards: Adapt or Die. Oh dear. Adapt or Die, I think it's called. And this is where last week I introduced an exhaust mechanic, so you can get rid of a card from your hand for the rest of the combat. This time you can shoot. This is a commander one, so the commander can get this, and they can choose a card to exhaust, so that can make your hand more powerful as you get rid of the worst, the cards that aren't very good, or cards that don't apply to that particular enemy. Then we got Bob and Weave, which is a way that you can, instead of evading one salvo, you'll be able to evade all of the incoming salvos, but it costs more energy, so that's quite fun. I've added Screen Shake, so prepare to be shaken up. I might have gotten a bit overkill, so if you tell me. I'm trying to make it so that the enemy is getting a little bit more challenging, a little bit more quickly, or at least is a bit more unpredictable. Because at the moment, like it was a little bit like bad enemy, and then suddenly they got really, really big. So I'm not sure. It's going to be weeks of tweaking on that one, I think, and adding things to try and improve that. I've added card jostling, so you can see this guy's moving around now. So a lot of other card games do this, so they kind of just gently move around to make them look a little bit more alive and playful. I think I've got it mostly working. There's a few graphical glitches that I probably need to iron out. It's not looking too bad. You see little sort of tearing happening here, and I'm not enough of a graphics genius to work out how to deal with that yet. So I'm going to improve that over time, but that's quite nice. I quite like it. It's quite nice to watch them gently move around. You'll see that I've added a bit of a fancier card selection screen. We'll get to that soon. And just a bit of UX. So if a card is created by another card, you get to see it, preview it, so that you know what you're getting into. Okay, well, without further ado, I'm going to just get stuck in the game. So this is where you start, heading towards Earth, 20 light years away, and you've got to try and just get there before Earth gets completely decimated by the Reptorian hordes, because they're occupying Earth. And I'm going to try and make this look a little bit more grisly every time it gets, the more devastated it gets, it's going to potentially look worse. Probably get a better graphic for it as well. It's very small and can't really tell it's Earth, to be honest. So, detected a scout. So one thing you'll notice, I need to make that a bit bigger actually. But yes, I've added a difficulty. So you can see this is a difficulty 1 enemy. The first enemy is always a difficulty 1 enemy. So just to, it's either a tutorial one or it's just the first one you come across. A bit like Slay the Spire, the first enemies are just bang bang kill. It's not quite that simple to bang bang kill this guy, but we'll give it a go. So the game is about playing cards, the right cards at the right time. They don't all have art, so this card doesn't have art yet, so I've just got this placeholder text because all my art is human generated, so I'm willing to wait for the real human art, so I think it makes all the difference, you can tell. It makes me smile every time. Every time I get a new bit of artwork, it always makes me smile. So, and it's just nice to work with an artist, really. So you bounce ideas off each other. The artist comes up with some cool driller torpedoes the other day, and I thought, that's a great idea, actually. Some torpedoes that can sort of slowly drill in. Pretty cool. So I might think about doing that, and I wouldn't have come up with that idea if I wasn't working with another human. So, yes, our ship's on the left, their ship's on the right, and you've really got to smash it and get your torpedoes through this inter-ship zone. The stuff in the middle is where the torpedoes are going to travel through and get to the enemy. You can see what they're doing here. They attack their weapons. So they have various attack patterns, these are called. So they'll either attack a weak spot or they'll attack your weapons, usually attack weapons if they see they're unguarded. I'll probably add more sort of, they sometimes fire thermals, but I'm going to add more of these attack patterns and play with them going forwards, because at the moment the enemy is a bit predictable. So before I bore you all to death, I'm going to start playing. So effective command adds 2 draws, so you can redraw at any time. Your cards will stay in your hand. That was another thing actually that you see. This goes green when it's playable. I haven't quite finished this. This is what I was just doing yesterday. So you can see where it's green when you can play it, just to give a little bit of visual feedback. So I'm not going to charge the weapons, because those weapons will give me lots of salvage. So I'm going to do my trick of take out the weapons to stop them flipping. Or because it's so easy, I'm just going to go straight to the bridge. I don't want to kill the reactor because that will give me more energy, more warp fuel, and those will give me lots of matter. So I'm going to just go and see if I can take out that bridge and get them sad. So I can reload this gun. I'm going to maybe move closer to them. So at the moment you can see I'm 2 units away. So this torpedo is going to go boom, boom, boom. It's going to take 1, 2, 3 turns before it gets there. If I move closer, it would only take 1, 2 turns. But I've run out of energy doing that, so I can't do anything like that. So I think it's time to end the turn. So then fire at me. So they've got 2 torpedoes coming towards me. I can try and shoot them down. So that would just shoot down 3, and the reason it shoots down 3 is because it's 4 minus the distance. So point defense is really good at taking them down when they're close. Evade is good at taking them down when they're far away. So it's 1 plus distance. That's 2 if I try now. So I'm going to try and shoot them both down with point defense, really. So I'm going to use my redraws to draw this. I'm going to not going to play that straight away. I'm going to lock on because that makes my targeting improve. Let's fire light torpedoes at them. Lights aren't very effective against armour, so I might not fire lights. Lights are more for taking out their hard points because they go so fast. So lights go at twice the speed. So if you look here in the middle, you can see the lights will get there straight away. But they only do three damage per projectile, so that is pretty rubbish. I could shunt this forwards. I don't want to shunt it backwards. I think for now I might just conserve energy. I've got 2 redraws, so I'll get rid of my lights. Ion Pulse, I'm not feeling like Ion Pulse would disable some of their thing. I don't think I need it right now. So I've run out of draws, I haven't really got anything to do, so I'm going to just wait and hope I get 2 point defences next time. There's the screen shake. Woo! So the screen shake gets more and more aggressive the more damage it does, and the more rapidly the damage gets done. So expect that to get quite crazy when we hit the big bell roaches. We'll probably get sort of seasick levels. So I can shoot this down, so it's only 4 now. That's one little pip left, 1 projectile. Now what I'm really trying to get is another point defense, really. There we go. So I can reload my point defense and I can shoot that one. And I think I might just take the two hits. I can always repair the damage if I need to, and I'll lock on again. So my targeting's 2. So luckily they didn't hit anything critical, so they hit just a bit of armor and another bit of armor here. I could go and repair them, but if I repair them, they'll temporarily, their cards will go out of action. So it's a bit of a trade-off. Don't want them just sitting repairing. They're actually quite useful for providing cards there. Although you could game it a little bit. So if I don't actually want Ion Pulse to be circulating, because I'm never going to use it, I could use Sophia to go around and sort of lose that card for a bit. Seems like a bit of an exploit, really. I haven't quite thought of a good way of dealing with that. Anyway, let's carry on firing. So what they've done is they've flipped. So they got some damage on this side, but then they flipped over to protect this side and fire on this side as well. The weakness of this ship is it doesn't have any point defense. So it's actually quite good just to sort of blast. So that's probably going to be my strategy, is just to blast as much as if you can, and try and hold any evades and point defense. So I've got no draws. It's one of these things I might want to sort of store my draws a bit. So one thing I could do is hang back, evade, and then come back in quickly and sort of strike. But I haven't really got any cards to support that strategy yet, which I'll add soon, hopefully. The ability to swoop out, swoop in, sort of quite quickly. I want one of the strategies to be that you can go away and just relax and just get rid of them, and then come back in, bam, 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 fire some heavy weaponry, and then get out of there. Effective command always, it's always a no-brainer. So one thing I might add at some point is another resource called command, something like command power, and you can use the command power for redrawing, or you can use it for certain cards. I haven't made my mind up. I'm reluctant to add another resource because I've already got 3. I've got the energy plus each one of these. I've actually got 2 at the moment because there will be a railgun munitions eventually. But I've got torpedoes, I've got energy, and I've got point defense, and that's already quite a lot to take in. I can scramble their targeting, which makes their targeting less efficient, but they're targeting my bridge now. They're reloading the guns next turn. But the bridge is it will take a little while to get through my bridge. I will probably just evade one of those, just to take the bite off it. I want to conserve my energy, you see. I don't really want to be spending tons of energy on evasion, especially if we're just hitting armor. I'll use my lights, reload that. Point defense this, just to take some of the sting out of that. Basic. So now can you see I've got a little bit of more targeting, I've got a little bit more of a smaller crosshair, so I can try and ease my way into that hole there. So if I lock on, if I'd known I had that lock on, I would have used that earlier. Reload. I save those shunts. Don't really want those fades. Lock on again. Now can you see it's getting really tight. So I can really sort of bury my way into that hole. I'll probably flip in a minute. I'm just going to take those hits. I'm going to see what I can get instead of. I'm going to reload. And I'm out of energy. So I weathered those hits quite well. I'll reload that. Yes, I wanted my point defense to be soon. So what they're going to try and do is evade this now. So they get the same penalty for being close. So I could either take it, because I could shunt both of them forward. So actually I've only got one energy. So I could, if I shunted that one forward, then they would just start evading that one. So there's no point in shunting it. So I think I'm just going to take the fact that they're going to evade two of them and save the energy for next turn. I wouldn't want those shunts. Do I want two shunts? I think maybe two shunts was something with the card of the week last week. I'm wondering if I didn't put the thermal stuff in this time, even though I said I would. Oops! So I haven't put the card of the week in. I didn't even talk about the card of the week. Okay, well maybe I'll keep that for next week as well. So I'm going to save. I've got 2-point defenses and a reload. So next turn I can get rid of those torpedoes coming in. So they evaded two of mine, 3 get through, and then this Titan burst comes in here, and I've started damaging their crew member. So the helmsman Simon is on his last legs. The captain is also wounded, so now they're quite unhappy here. So the bridge is damaged. They really don't like that. They haven't. They have done recent damage to me, which is making them happy. But they've taken a lot more damage overall than me, so overall they're going to probably be surrendering soon. So now I've got this hole, I might just start firing the lights in here. And start shooting these down. Reload that. And shoot that one down. Lock on again for fun. Reload. Basic point. So we get right into here. So I think this is going to spell the end of poor Captain Bert. And his Dominion of Fear. He almost got through into my bridge there. Yeah, they died in fiery oblivion and surrendered. I think maybe the next week or the week after, I'm going to start making a better surrender. So they go, oh, I surrender, have my ship. Rather than it just being super abrupt, because sometimes I don't even know why I've won. So this is the victory screen. So you get more. The reason I wasn't attacking their weapons so much is because you get a lot more. You get a lot more salvage if you haven't damaged it. I must have slightly damaged that one. I should probably make that a little bit less sensitive, because I didn't really hit it that hard. I must have slightly grazed it. But yeah, so these are worth quite a lot, 40 for those undamaged weapons. And I get 100 for a completely undamaged reactor core. And I get some upgrades for my crew. So let's upgrade to see what they've got today. So this is slightly fancier version of my screen. I still need a nice background, I think. Waiting for art for that as well, but for now it's just a black background. I've got Adapt or Die is the new one. I should probably use that one, even though it's got no artwork. So when I select it, you can see there's a slightly fancy little background now. So I'm going to pick that one. You, Nick, what are you going to have? I'm going to pick thermals because that's what the one I meant to seed into my deck. Reloading Frenzy is it's meant to okay, add that back, because I'm pretty sure that should be giving me a preview of the card that it produced. It might not do it in this mode, maybe it only does it in certain modes. It tells you what Volatile does, but it hasn't actually previewed the Fatigue card. So something's gone a bit wrong there. I will fix that. So we'll take thermals, and for you, Sophia, or Replicator's fun, where you add 2 projectiles to the salvo while it's in flight. So I'll pick that. Torpedo Jammer is quite good if they're firing huge salvos at you, because it reduces the targeting of the whole salvo. So later on, when they start firing these mega salvos of like 20, 30, they fire at you in one go, then if you reduce the targeting of the whole thing, it can be quite effective at sort of spreading them out. I'll take a Replicator for now, and I'm going to head to Earth. So an enemy has detected us. They're heading towards us. Now, this is where the difficulty is 5. So last one was difficulty 1. This is difficulty 5 because difficulty is now somewhat less linear. So it's either higher or lower than your progress. So this could be a challenge. Probably won't be much of a challenge. 5 isn't really that high. So ship. I was going to just show you that I could change my ship. So one thing you can do is be more aggressive, and I could take out this and replace it with 2 torpedoes on this side. I want to really save up for upgrading my reactor there, because my upgraded reactor is super useful, and I'm nearly there. So with one more battle, and I've got an upgraded reactor. So I'll meet them head on. I'm not scared of you. Head towards them and engage. Okay, I don't really know. It seems like if there's a level 5, they should have upgraded something. They've upgraded that bit of armor. They haven't upgraded anything else. I need to have a look at that, because they should have upgraded more. I mean, I think, and also that's a bug there. Can you see? I've got that in my list of bugs, that it hasn't quite got that corner right. It's got the slightly wrong tile there. So I think the way, the way that the randomizer works is that depending on the level, you get a slightly higher chance of upgrading in general. So you go through each one of these rooms, and there's a chance of it being upgraded depending on the difficulty level. And the chance is higher for certain things, so it's quite high for armor, and then it's somewhat high for guns, and then a little bit less high for reactors, and a little bit less high for engines. But yeah, clearly I think I need to make that a little bit more likely early on, because later on you get some seriously big boys. Okay, well, let's go. So before I fire, I'm going to lock on and lock on. I might just double lock on and just wait. I'm going to fire 2 hits. Effective command, again a no-brainer. So I don't really like cards that are no-brainers, to be honest. So I think a way of making that less no-brainer. It doesn't seem right that effective command uses energy. That's why I haven't got energy on it. So coming towards me, I'm tempted to save up some energy, deal with those guys, and then come swooping in with an attack. So I'm going to try and see if I can get myself some point of defense ready. Yeah, I'm going to evade these because they're quite a long way away. So I'm going to evade that one. And I might point defense the next one. So I might actually move closer this time. And next time I can shoot that down and fire off my salvos. Fire. I'm going to use the same trick. I want to get as much salvage as possible. So I'm going to just fire at that. Do the lights. 4 draws. It's a bit of a gambling game. See if we can get some thermals on them. The thermals I do want to target internally like this. I can thermal their bridge, but the thing about thermals is it's an area effect attack, so it pops out. And I should probably, feels like the UX should make that clear about where it's going to. I was thinking about having simulated projectiles that you can see what you can also predict where the area of effect attack is going to come, but that will be in the polishing stage. Adapt or die. Here we are there. So I can actually start thinning out my deck. which is good. I can't do it now because I've got no resources. And I don't know why adapt or die again. If it's a command card, why it would use 1 energy anyway. Which is why I'm thinking of adding another resource called command resource or something, but I'm still not 100% convinced. So got quite lucky there. They did a bit of damage to this, but not enough to decommission it. They're going to attack my torpedo, but they're not attacking my thermals. So I'll show you this adapt or die. This is a new mechanic. I'll show it to you. So you do that, and then I can choose which card to exhaust. So I'm going to exhaust one of my evades because I'm not really playing an evade strategy. I'm keeping close range. So get rid of that. So now that's you're not going to see that again for this combat. You'll see it again next combat. So I'm going to just reload this little tattered beast to a gun. And then I will. I'm almost tempted to shoot down their engines here. That might be a good use of my lights. You'll see if I can take down their engines, their evasion is going to be less intense. Okay, end of my turn I think. Got one redraw, but I'll save that for next turn. So regulars coming in, thermals. I do think the thermals are overpowered. Three fires in each one of these rooms, so they're going to be busy putting out these fires for a few turns now. Those lighting on those fires need to be reduced. You can barely see Jack. Okay, it's time for me to deal with these. Now this time I haven't really got much loaded, so I'm going to flip. So I can flip onto this side. And then I've got a point defense ready to go. Save that replicator for later. Now let's see if I can get a reload on that. So I'm going to try and see if I can get more. They're going to flip. It's quite good if I try and take out that engine as well. If I take out both the engines, they won't be able to flip. One redraw, so I could. I've got no energy there. Just thinking if I get. Yes! That's lucky. Yeah, that was really lucky. I don't have any energy, but because weapons only take energy to load, they don't take energy to fire. I was really hoping I'd get a point defense. Just take that out. I did! So, here comes another salvo. So they are now dead in the water. They cannot evade and they cannot flip. They're still dealing with the fires. Quite new that it's starting to hurt them as well, the fires. Which is nice. Now, I'm going to use scramble time. I'm always tempted to get rid of that for my deck. They're not really firing at me anymore. They're going to fire thermal rounds at me. Don't really benefit from being scrambled anyway. So I'm going to get rid of this. And I'm going to just reload my guns. Maybe next time. Fire off. Save my point defense for next turn, so take that out. I can almost evade them both. I don't want to fire on my ship, so I want to get rid of them all. Fire thermals right back at them. Ooh. I can replicate that while it's in flight. That's the thing to do, isn't it? Pretty good. I can do this. I'm not going to move it forwards because I'm going to wait one turn. I'm going to use the replicator. I'm going to use the replicator on it now. As you can see, it's going to add two more thermals. Yummy, yummy. And I'm going to wait. And I'm going to shunt it next turn. So they're going to try and point defense those out of the sky. But I've got a trick on my sleeve. I can shunt it forwards. You can't shoot those down. Okay, that was satisfying. But now they're extremely sad. I think I might have got the people in there, didn't I? They were doing firefighting, and They don't seem to be there anymore. Did I completely kill them? Oh dear, poor guys. Right, let's see if I can shoot. Oh, they didn't even get those thermals on me. Okay, they're going to be panicking for sure now. Panic! Too scared to do anything! So panicking basically wastes A, one of their slots, and B, uses energy as they're frantically wasting energy, milling around. Okay, so at this point I'm just going to wait, because I think I don't need to do any more damage to them. They've surrendered. They're very, very easy to scare, these Reptorians. Right, more cards. Morale. I'm not going to get that. I'm going to skip this. I've already got a shunt. An effective command I could get, because that's always good. Again, it's a no-brainer. There's no reason not to get it, especially if it gives you more draws. Okay, I might temporarily make that so that you can... I added a back button as well, by the way, so you can check out what you've got, exactly like this. So I might temporarily make effective command. If you notice also, I made them more springy, so I've got a little effect. Maybe you can't see it at your frame rate, but I've also made these like pop out a little bit, so everything feels a little bit more tactile and alive. But what I was saying is that I probably might just temporarily give one energy for this, because I think it's a little bit overpowered at the moment. I don't want a card that you just look at and immediately play. It's not right. Outmaneuver, great. But I wanted to show you this my new card. I'm playing not what the strategy is best, but what strategy shows the new card. Outmaneuver means that you can flip their ship, which is really useful if you're focusing on one side rather than the other. Very expensive in energy there. Bob and weave is good for defending lots, if they're firing lots of salvos at you. Withering torpedoes. I don't get those. That makes things vulnerable. It's quite hard to play this strategy without lots of shunting and stuff. But I do have lots of shunting because I accidentally put 2 shunts into my hand. Or I could focus down on thermals, but I've already got a thermal. I might as well make it cycle faster. This is maybe where I don't take withering torpedoes. So I think if I was playing a proper game, I'm trying to actually really win, I probably wouldn't take anything because I'm probably going on a thermal run this time. But I want to show off withering torpedoes, so I'm going to take it. Overload reactor I always pick if I can. So this gives you extra energy production, but at the cost of having a chance of the reactor taking damage. I might replace this with it causes 3 fires. I think that might be more interesting, because then that would damage the people inside the room as well as just the room. And then you might just send people to sick bay, and there's a long-term cost for overloading it. I'll probably do that at some point. But for now, it kind of gets the job done to do that. But the big thing I wanted to do was upgrade my reactor. So now my reactor produces 3 per turn, which is a big deal. It's a big deal. So this is a difficulty 6 enemy. So, one idea. Move closer, withering. What do I want to get this time? They've kind of protected their bridge a bit. It's still pretty pathetic. I've got quite a lot of energy, so I might just try and blast them through the energy this time. I'm going to replicate this withering torpedo and Bristol on the next turn. Because that means I get 5 with 5 vulnerable on there. That'd be really nice. I'll reload that. Yes, of course they're trying to point against me, but I can always shunt it in. So I've got options. I've got 3 energy, so if I get an ion pulse, I can disable their gunnery deck or something. But I'm going to just shunt it forwards, I think. There we go. This has got 5 vulnerable armor now. So it's got 5 turns. So I to take double damage for 5 turns. So if I can just get some more torpedoes on there. So I'm not going to take anything defensive right now. I'm going to try and get more. Come on. Basics. Let's get those back. So I only need 1 point defense for this guy. Lights. I could flip between these lights, couldn't I? So if I flip the ship, I'm going to fire these lights. So even the lights. Or I could use thermals. Hang on a minute. Thermals use one energy. That's a mistake. So yeah, that must be a mistake. So I changed it recently so that weapons don't take energy to fire. Well, projectile weapons. I'm going to add energy weapons eventually, like lasers and things like that. And they certainly will take energy to fire. And railguns will take energy to fire. But torpedoes, the idea is that you will store them. So eventually you can upgrade your guns and you can have multiple guns. Multiple. They can hold multiple rounds. And when you do that, then the idea is that you sort of load, and then it's kind of free to fire as long as you've got the current. So you're kind of storing energy, like. Whereas if you have to use the energy to fire them as well, it's a bit unfair. Whereas railguns and lasers are going to be more like, if you've got the energy, you can fire straight away. Lock on. No. Lights is what I wanted to do, yeah. So even though they don't do much damage, they're going to do double damage. I've got out of energy, so I'm just going to wait turn. We are going to evade some of those, unfortunately. So they did 6 damage each. We've still got 5 turns of. It's still 5 turns. Did I not end my turn? Okay, I'll have to have a look at that. I did have a bit of trouble with this counting down. It seems to be waiting a turn. So I overloaded this, but it has caused damage, so I might need to go and repair that. Will get caught in the crosshairs. Oh no, they're flipping. This is where that outmaneuver would be super useful. I didn't pick. Bob and weave. So I could bob and weave that, but that is really lame. So I'm going to point defensive. It's better at close range. Reload that gun. Maybe fire off my thermals. I can get them in there. I might do damage to 2 wounds. That has ticked down now. But, I know, was it 6 to begin with? I'll have to look at the video recording. I have a feeling I got an extra turn of vulnerable armor there. It's going to be the death of me, these programming these things. So you have to, because it's. I'm not going to get into it. But getting it so that it doesn't tick down sometimes, like when you just fired your weapons, versus it ticks down if you add it during your turn. Because what it did at one point, which was really frustrating, was that it would tick down at the beginning of their turn, which was just before your torpedoes came in. So like you'd have one vulnerable, and your torpedo it went down to 0, and then all your torpedoes would hit, which was extremely frustrating. So I made it so that it waits until your torpedoes will come and hit, and then processes. But then obviously you get the opposite problem of where if your torpedoes are withering torpedoes and you hit, then it ticks it down straight away. So you get another unfortunate problem in the other direction. Well, in the same direction, but there was no good time to tick it down. So I put in a delay if it's withering torpedoes, that it delays it 1 turn, but it seems to be delaying 2 turns. Or maybe I'm making it up and it was okay. Right. Shunt. No, if I shunt that forward, then they're going to just attack my family. I should make that clear when I shunt that. They don't want to attack those. Maybe I don't need to. I'll just learn the hard way. I'm going to start thinning out my deck. Run out of draws. Brave Mark. Did Mark survive? Yeah. Did he? Mark any? Frank, Bill, Clark, Barry. Yeah, Mark, I think, didn't make it. Like that. I think they're going to have much more to do. Yeah. I don't know why I got this pop in a weave. I'm not playing a varied strategy. I've got loads of energy, which is good. So 3 energy a turn makes a big difference. Now what I need is drawing ability to be able to draw more cards. So let's carry on firing at so I think I can keep him busy and do some damage to him. I don't need to make it so that they can shield themselves or something. It's too easy to kill them. Too easy. Don't want to duplicate those. I'm going to adapt or die this out of my card. I don't want it. After just getting it. I'm going to wait 1 turn for defense. Now I can shoot it straight away. See if I can wither this up. Okay. Do I want to overload? I've got enough energy really. I might just not. That's way too easy to kill those guys. What I might do is put in something in the AI saying kind of flip before you repair. So maybe they only, maybe they're less inclined to repair on a side that isn't facing away from the enemy. Maybe make them a little tougher. But this is too easy to kill them. They're just too dumb. They don't. It's what you're meant to really do. If you're a human, you kind of want to keep the guys safe, so you put them on. You only repair on the outside. So I might make the AI a little bit smarter. I'm going to shoot those down, but I'm going to do my same trick again. I'm going to replicate it. It's 5. Just take a little look to see what happens here. 5. Okay. Honorable armor takes 5. So that. Yeah. So maybe that was working as intended. So that essentially, I get 5 starting next turn. I think that's the way I'm thinking about it. 5 starting next turn, because it's a bit lame if you press end turn and you don't get 5 next turn. It's just as bad as having. You might as well have 4. Okay. At least that's my story. Maybe it's working as intended, and I am just too tired to move things through. Anyway, plenty of vulnerable armor. Why did I do that when they're shooting me down anyway? Where's my ion? I haven't seen that for a long time. Don't tell me I've got this problem again where... Okay, I'm just not picking it. I kept having this problem where they weren't returning back to their... So if they were in a repair or they were in the sick bay, they wouldn't, at the end of the turn, they're meant to return back and all their cards are meant to go back in their deck and everything like that, but it wasn't doing that properly. Kept doing it. I thought I fixed it. I think I have. I just can't recall seeing ion pulse for a long time. Anyway, I've got plenty of energy, so I might as well use energy cards. Do I want to overload? I'd rather just keep the cards. I suspect the reason that this is in here is because I put her on repair duty and she was out of action repairing the character for a while. Command, always pick that. Stupid. Now it's I want reloads. More reloads really. I've unbalanced my deck so that I don't have enough reloading power now. So yeah, the beginning of next turn, as in after my torpedoes hit, it will tick down. So I think that's working as intended. But they're just panicking now, so I don't even know why I'm continuing to fight. I'm wondering if there's a way of saying, you know, if if there's nothing else they can really do except panic, then just end the match early. Right, crew. Big barrage, that'll be fun. Yeah, let's do that. Thermal pulse if we're going fiery. Sounds good. I don't want 2 thermal pulses. I'll skip that. And I'm going to pick my energy. So I'm going to try change gears here. I'm going to pick 2 of those. So I've leveled up my weapons. I'm just going to go real hyper offense here. So I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to put in that. I think I can upgrade this one. I've been hunting this one. I've been hunting this bug. Hopefully I've got it on video now. I tried to get rid of it and I couldn't get hold of that bug, but it looks like I've got it now. This big boy, it's not happy, is it? I wonder if it even, anyway, we'll see. I will check the logs. That's why I put this in a development build. It's one of the things that I like about this is that it gets me to hunt out all the bugs and see how stable the game is. I figure if I play it every week on air, it keeps me accountable and keeps me fixing those bugs. Otherwise, it's always tempting to leave the bugs to the last minute. Okay. 205. It's not worth pacing it towards there, so I'm going to just difficulty 5. I'm going to try and just get, for the sake of this stream, I'm going to try and just get out of here, and then I'm going to just get back to work water. So I'm using 15. I need to make that clearer why it's using 15. So if I go half ahead, it only uses 5. If I go dead slow, my reactor, what it generates from the power that generates from my reactor is enough to compensate. It's absolutely not clear. That's probably one of the next things. One of the things I want to try and do is make the first 5 minutes really fun and make everything really clear in the first 5 minutes. I'm going to carry on going fast speed. This is difficulty 13, so that should be more fun. They haven't seen me yet, so I'm going to intercept them and see if I can sneak up. There we go, just they don't see me. So you can see this is significantly more intense now. So they've got 3 over there, 2. Oh dear, I can't select anything here. Can I select my people? I might have broken the game. Let me see if I can go out and back in. Has that fixed it? Okay. Yeah, so that bug I had in the shipyard there was fatal. Well, it wasn't fatal. It looks like I can load it and reload it again. Thankfully, the game loads. It saves every day. So it's if I quit now, if I quit halfway through a battle, I would start again at the beginning of the battle. I think that's how Slay the Spire does it. Basically, every time you move, it saves it. So every day it saves, and I think that's a fair way of doing it for now. I'm not really going to be in the business of saving it. It's going to be quite a lot of effort to save it mid-battle. You'd have to save all of the damage state. You'd have to save quite a lot of stuff. Possible, but I think it's fair enough to start the match again if you get called down for dinner. So I've made this side super offensive, so that should be quite fun because I've basically got 3. The strategy now is to get close, bam, 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 and then get out. So I'm going to wait a turn, see if I can get some more draws, get some more offensive stuff. I'm going to overload Yes, that was a lucky overload, so it didn't damage my range that time. I reduced that from 50%, although it's quite powerful, so it's quite well balanced, that card. I always feel like a sense of impending dread when I use it. It's probably a good feeling to cultivate. Let's see if I can get some more reloads, because I've got a whole... How many point defenses right now? There we go. So I've got one draw left. Let's see if I get lucky with another weapon now. So I'm just going to... Where am I going to attack today? That's level 3 armor. That's going to take a lot of battering without any withering, without any vulnerability. Likewise, if they flip, there's a shield over here, so that's going to be pretty hard to take down. I haven't got any ion weapons which would take the shield down quickly, and I haven't got any phased torpedoes which will go straight through the shield. So I think today I'm going to go for the weapons. I'm going to shoot weapons. And I'm quite happy actually here, because I was trying for a while to make it so that you didn't always go for do the same thing. Because a few weeks ago even, it's just always go for the weapons, but now that I've made it a little bit more like, sometimes they can be shielded, and also they are quite valuable in terms of salvage, I'm less inclined to go for them. So I sometimes pick, do I have lots of energy? Okay, maybe I can take the reactors down. Do I need more matter? Well, maybe I should leave these guys alone and just see if I can deal with them. And sometimes you just want to kill them as quickly as possible. And I think this is the kind of guy I want to kill as quickly as possible. He's even shielded his weapons here, his engine. So I could replicate, but I'm going to wait until I'm sure they're going to hit. So they're going to use point defense. Got loads of energy now. I've still got a ion pulse in there. So, by the way, this isn't the order that they get drawn. This is the order that they get drawn randomly from here. So I can't tell which one's going to come next, unfortunately. Where do you lock on? There, ion pulse. So, right. They were just about to shoot my torpedoes down. If I just shunted it forwards, then they would just attack that one. But what I can do instead is ion pulse. There's a point defense. So I can ion pulse here, and it's going to just take out all of their weapons. They can't fire any weapons for one turn. 1 ion damage. Unable to fire for 1 turn. So they're going to make it through. I can reload this gun. I can even replicate this one, so I get a bit more loads of energy. Not enough draw. So yeah, an interesting metagame I wasn't expecting to come out of this game is that you're kind of managing whether you're using energy or draw. So sometimes you feel like you've got loads of energy, like now. And sometimes you feel like you haven't got enough draw. So that's an interesting balance. Because one of the ways that this is really different from Slay the Spire is that you keep your cards, and the idea is that you're really meant to try and perform this perfect synergy of 5 cards. And slightly gambling mechanic, because you're slightly waiting, am I going to get this? Am I going to get this one I really want? And obviously having lots of draw helps with that. Try taking it down now, boys. I think one of them's a girl, actually. I've got a Reptoria. If you can think of any strange girls' names, because I mean, I don't want to offend anybody, called Larry or Barry, but I'm trying to make the names slightly, well, it's funny for an alien space crocodile, put it that way. So, got to deal with these at some point. So, the 2 things, I could have an option of separating, getting further away, so I could move away, and I buy myself some time. Yeah, what I think I'm going to do is fire off my big barrage while the going's good. They're going to flip, but that's fine. I can just take out the other side. Mark's repairing and Jack So this is a big barrage, which does 12 torpedoes, but it cost me two munitions there. So I'm going to carry on, start reloading. Do I want to take the lights out? Probably not. I want to actually fire my lights. See if I can fire them. What I really need is to shoot those down, so I'm going to actually have to flip now. I'm going to shoot one of them down. And I think I might get out of here. Get out of here! I'm going to fire my thermals. I don't fire thermals here because it's an area of effect attack and has a sort of radius. If it hits my torpedo or my point defense, it doesn't actually set fire to anything inside the rooms. So if I fire about, that should then set fire to the reactor if it comes in. So what I've done is I've just gone and fired out everything. And this is where I really need a reloading frenzy, because a reloading frenzy reloads everything in the room, which is really cool. I don't have that card. Did I turn that card down earlier? Because that would have been good to have about now. The other thing I could do, which I don't think I've done before on stream, is I can either move my whole self back, or I can move just this torpedo back with a shunt. So I'll do that. I'll move that one back. So that buys me one turn on that salvo. This salvo's going to hit, but it's only doing 1 damage. So I think I'm good to go. I'm going to get rid of this one from my deck now, because I'm not really using evades because I'm quite close. So now, my big barrage is coming. It's coming. So, big barrage. Is it going to make it? They're going to evade some of it. What I could do, see, I haven't got any draws, so it would have been really nice if I got an ion pulse, because I could have taken down their engines and they wouldn't have evaded it. But they're only evading 3, so I'm not too worried. I really have to take care of this torpedo. But to be honest, I'm almost tempted to let it hit. So if I do a thermal pulse, this sets a fire. This is one of my new cards. So it will create a thermal blast. And if I try and maximise the number of rooms, so they hate bridge damage, so I'll probably do that. There we go. We've even got a nice sound effect on that one. Oh, sorry, I only just noticed the chat. Hello. Hello, Bumblebella. Sorry, I'm getting too involved in the game. I need to become more of a professional at this. Anyway, they've got lots of fires here, and kind of could bob and weave it. The bob and weave does evading projectiles from all salvos, and I thought, oh yeah, it does preview it. Okay. I'm going to move away, buy myself some time. So my torpedoes are still going to hit next turn. Their one's going to take one more turn. I'm just going to carry on reloading. So here comes my big barrage. Bar is no longer with us. I just hit a shield. What was that? Was that my thermals? Yeah, I think I was trying to thermal them. But because they flipped and it hit their shield, those thermals were completely wasted. Do I want witherings? What I really want is to shoot this thing down. And try and disable that weapon. Ion pulse. I'm going to reload that in case I get a basic point defense. What I wanted. I'm probably going too fast now. Thermal pulse. Finally run out of energy. You can see the step up from 2 energy to 3 energy per turn is absolutely huge. It means that I've got loads more I can do. And you can use that energy to get a shield. But actually it's quite nice just to have loads of energy. I'm going to wait a turn because there's nothing I can really do. That just impotently hit a bit of my armour. Now I can probably move a bit closer because they're just panicking. In fact, I'm just going to wait a turn. They're done. They're done in. Victory! I don't quite get so much because I damaged their weapons so much. Still got 264. Some more upgrades. We're going to see more of the same cards. 4 draws! Oh, I really want. Oh, this is a hard choice because I like both of these cards. Find weak spot means it's really powerful because you get vulnerable armor for 2 turns. I might even make it 1 turn because it's so powerful. I think choosing where you're making something vulnerable for 2 turns for 1 energy makes that a kind of no-brainer card, and I think that's too much. You can't have all the cake. But then again, I am making a decision here. If it was that powerful, I'd pick it. But I'm really running out of draws, so I'm going to do this, which decreases my morale, which I'm not having trouble with. So this is like the idea that you're shouting at your crew, "Go on!" And they're getting a little bit upset, dropping their munitions, but they are. I could actually make it so that whenever you use it, it kind of adds another card called "I fumbled" or something like that. Fumbled the munitions or something. That might be more interesting than decreasing morale. I'm going to take outmaneuver this time. Hold her steady is quite fun. So hold her steady means that you get extra targeting just for this turn, which is quite good if you want to snipe something. Outmaneuver is too powerful, especially as they start getting more shielding. Splitters is amazing, but that's more for playing a long game. A large range game, because splitters double every single turn, which means that if you use them at a high range and you start bringing them back with shunters, they can get to extreme levels. So let's try that. I mean, I'm just basically picking everything, but if I might try getting a splitter torpedo to work, because that would be really funny. I'm also thinking about having ability to quite soon to sort of just completely get rid of cards. So you can spend experience either on getting new cards or getting rid of cards permanently from your deck. I think that'd be very useful. Anyway, let's keep going on our march towards I'm going to do one more game, one more fight, and I'm going to try and make it a big one. So I'm going to get out of here. 3 days to get out of here, lots of energy. So for the sake of this live stream, I'm going to just get out of here and then head to Earth at full speed. Actually, I'm going to upgrade my ship because I've got a bit of energy here. So I haven't really been getting through my armor yet, although next time they probably will. I'm going to upgrade that weapon. So I've got all these. What I've got now is quite a glass cannon. So I've got I'm upgrading my torpedo launchers, but I'm not defending them very well. So I could put a shield in here, but actually I really want to try and just do maximum damage and go for a sort of glass cannon sort of strategy. So let's go to Earth. So now it's going to be the enemies. Yeah, we've got a cruiser, level 16 cruiser. So let's see. They're heading away, so I'm going to have to carry on going, blasting at full warp. Oh, they... Right, so I've got to make... this is the other thing I've got to do, is make them a little bit more intelligent about when they decide to run away, because that's a big boy. He shouldn't be running. Right, call them up. So this is one of the big cruisers. I'm thinking about having even bigger ones. You know, there's no limit to how big the ships can be. The only problem is that it might be hard to parse, and you know, if I have like so many gun batteries, it's going to be like ages to get rid of the ship. So I don't want to make them super crazy big. But if they're just going off screen, I think that's quite fun. Looming over. So let's take these effective commands. Let's see what we can get in our deck. The Sense of Urgency will give me 4 draws. I'll take that straight away. So you can see that's damaged my morale, but it's given me 4 beautiful draws. So this bob and weave is going to work well with the long distance run. So what I might do is just fire off some stuff. Basic torpedoes. This is a hard ship to take down. They've got level 3 armor there. They haven't really got a weak spot. I guess the weakest spot might be in here, on this side. So if I can use outmaneuver. So maybe I should, if I was more intelligent, and more patient, I would have maybe done an outmaneuver, try and get them on this side, and then saved, and then gone bam, 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 and fired everything, and then got out of here because they're going to fire stuff at me, and then use bob and weave to get rid of stuff. That's the sort of strategy I want to get going eventually. Is thinking about a little bit, 3 or 4 moves into the future. Bob and weave. No, I don't want that one. I'm going to adapt and die straight away. Probably not. There's nothing here I want to get rid of. Let's see what we can get. So let's just fire thermals. Not really a good place for the thermals though. There. I'll get something through. Start reloading. Not enough energy. Let's see what we can do here. Hey, got lucky! Didn't burn my reactor just to oblivion. I think lights are not going to cut the mustard today. I could start removing them from my deck. They are weapons. Replicators. Now I'm going to save my replicators for when I know they're going to make contact. So they could be shot down at any moment. Oh my! Torpedo pluses. So when the enemy sees that they've got lots of weapons, lots of munitions, they will really fire these level 2 torpedoes, which are quite frightening. Okay, I'm going to get 5 energy next turn, so let's I'll deal with those another day. So now they're using their huge, they've got point defense cannons too as well, but they've got so many on this side. So those weapons are not in a good place. This is why I was thinking about that strategy of make sure that I get close, fire everything, get back, because they just have a chance to shoot everything down. You kind of want to overwhelm their point defense. For the moment they're just going to shoot everything down, unless I get lucky and get a... It might be that I can get... reload. An ion pulse should take care of them. While I'm waiting for an ion... Oh, if I use that though, I won't be able to use the ion pulse. Well, I know, I can do bob and weave here, look. So what I might do is go move away, buy myself a bit of time, bob and weave. I'll take 4 from both of those. It's quite pleasant. Taking the sting out of them. But now I definitely don't have enough for an ion pulse. Those torpedoes are basically wasted. It's a bit sad. Because I'm so far away and I start evading things. I'm not going to fire this basic point defense now. I'm going to learn from my mistake. I'll save that point defense for shooting that down. Save my replicator. I could thermal pulse them next turn from a distance because that's not distance dependent. So yeah, they completely like eviscerate that. But they have, blasted their they haven't got many munitions on this side, so soon the AI will ask it to flip. Even though I haven't done any damage on this side, I think the AI will say flip because you haven't got any weapons on this side. Which is good for me because this is their stronger side. So I could, while I'm waiting, just set some fires over their ship, which is quite fun. They're probably going to put them out quite quickly though, so it's probably a waste of energy really. I'm going to get rid of lights. I don't think I'm going to use them. I'd rather thin out my hand. So big barrage, basic torpedoes. I'm going to save them. I can't evade. So I'm going to save a bit of energy. I'm going to move one closer and I'm going to, hang on a minute, I need to flip and then defense. Well, you know what they're going to do, they're going to hit this and all those beautiful loaded ammunition are going to be, beautiful ammunition are going to be like destroyed. So maybe I fire my big barrage now. Oh, they've chosen to reload rather than flip. That's almost intelligent. Clever girl. Evade. Okay, I'm just going to have to take the hit. I've got 6. What could I have that saves me? I've got no energy, so there's not much I can do. I'm just going to have to take the hits. Yeah, so the reason I fired this big barrage was just because I knew that they were going to smash this up. and when they smash it up, you have to reload it again. So overload reactors with Victoria. So I probably want to send Sophia, even though she's got thermal pulse and replicator. I really want the other one. So I'm going to really. So can you see all those cards are into Sophia? That means that they're no longer available in my deck until she's finished her repair job. Splitters. This is what I wanted to show you guys. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move away. I'm going to flip and fire my splitters. Now, it doesn't look like much, 2, but it doubles every turn, and that is insane. And it's too insane, really, to keep in the final game. I'm going to enjoy it while it lasts. But you can shunt it back as well, so at least the torpedoes are being dealt with there. 8. I'm going to keep that at 8 because that might be useful if they fire next turn. Reload. I can't reload. I'm going to save the shunt. I might have 2 shunts. Oh man, what do I do? I've got an idea. I might just try and keep this around for long enough. So now they're going to shoot it with point defense. The thing is that at point defense is if I can move it back one more, it should actually almost keep it alive, but it would be even better if I could. I'm saving my energy, seeing if I can get an ion pulse. Or no, Aluminium's not going to work. I'm praying for an ion pulse here. Praying. Come on. Overload the reactor. Shunt. So many cards. Have I got an ion pulse? Oh no! Don't tell me I've been stupid. The ion pulse in here. No! Oh, I'm too stupid for this game. I'm in a game I'm too stupid to play. Right. That's unfortunate. I don't think there's any way I can get. Oh, I know what I can do. Well, not really going to work. I can shunt this one forwards. I was hoping that I could at least take one of their point defenses out. Are you really going to shoot that with just one? Shoot down 8 minus distance. 8 minus distance? That's insane. I was really hoping I could show you that. Alas. I'm not sure I'm going to defeat this one. Maybe I can get another one. I'm going to start moving. What am I doing? Losing the plot. Just got rid of that. Oh, they're flipping. They're flipping at last. So what I'm going to do is save my energy and see what I do next turn. Oh, I'm panicking. Oh, it's because I'm using that sense of urgency too liberally, and it's made them really sad, and we're getting really sad because we haven't. Recent damage to the enemy -10. So I think it's lack of recent damage to the enemy what's caused it. Right? No, hang on. I'm gonna have to look at that. Double check that, because it should be. If I do damage to the recent, it kind of ticks down the less damage we've done recent. The recent damage to the enemy there is +10. This should be recent damage. I'm not going to look into that. I think either that's wrong or it's just saying I haven't damaged them for a while. I'm going to get closer, and I'm just going to go crazy and see what I can do. If I can take down, this is probably my only chance if I can get those reactors. They are going to probably shoot me next turn. But I could move you back to your position, and then you get the ion pulse back in circulation at least. And just treat that side as dead. Panic! Panic! So yeah, these panic cards just clog up your deck. The idea is that you're basically like just like, yeah, panicking rather than doing work. Kind of is quite good abstraction, really. Now, splitter torpedoes, that's when I want to move away, so I'm not going to fire those guys. I want to fire more like withering. I get witherings closer. One thing I have got a lot of withdrawals because I sacrificed all my morale for sacrificed all my morale for draws, and now I've at least got to scramble their targeting. Overload again. Oh my god! I don't know why I did that. It was really risky. I forgot that wasn't repaired. If that had damaged it, it would have completely taken the reactor out, and I would have had 0 energy produced, and that would have been no good. Okay, that's pretty good. Evade, evade, evade. So, because they're so close, it's not really doing that much. Quite happy with that. So I'm going to move away, and I'm going to fire, go again. I'm going to save my outmaneuver. Panic. Replicate. What can I replicate that's good? Thermals is probably the best thing to replicate. Or witherings. Thermals should be more interesting, I think. Witherings would be fun as well. Thermals would cause a lot of trouble, and I might even start killing people with the fire. Ion pulse. Now that's something I want to save. Keep that in my hand. Outmaneuver. I will feel like I will need if I get rid of it. Let's get rid of point defense. What I really want is what I'm looking for is a reload now. I haven't got any. So I have to fire off my splitters. Screen shake. Am I going to get in? Oh. Yes, got in. Setting fires. That's a breakthrough there. So I managed to smash through their hull. I've managed to severely damage Jack, and Jack might not make it because he's going to get burnt next time. Simon's busy repairing there. They're going to flip soon though, so that's why I'm keeping my outmaneuver. Panic! No, but I'm getting happier now though. They're recent damage to the enemy. Okay, so I think I need to make the wording clearer. So now I have done recent damage to them. That's ticking up the morale for us. So hopefully we'll be back in the non-panic zone soon. This is a good battle. I quite like this one. Sense of urgency. Don't do that one this time because I'm pretty much bottomed out in morale. Evade! No! Adapt or die. Do I want to get rid of any? Really? I want to reload. Just want to reload. Come on. 0 draws. No reloads. So I think someone died. Oh yeah, Franca's replaced the repairing station at the getting rid of that fire station. So that's keeping them busy at least. Are they going to flip? Which is okay because I've got outmaneuver. So I'm going to outmaneuver. What? That's an interesting one. That's always worked. I did do an outmaneuver, didn't I? That's meant to flip them, not me. And it always has in the past. I haven't changed anything. So that's a very interesting one. I will check that one as soon as we go up. That's completely ruined my strategy as well. Must have, yeah, interesting. Okay, I will investigate that. In any case, that was not good. I know what I can do. Oh, this will only work for one turn, will it? If I'm just going to let them flip, and then I'm going to let them flip. I've got a nice little hole in here. I think the problem is if I do Ion Pulse, I can stop them flipping, but after the cooldown, I'll just try and flip again. Oh, I finally get the reload. So I'm going to fire my splitters while I'm this far away. Ah, and I got the same thing here. Splitters need to use energy, which they shouldn't. Right, let's fire the splitters. Or maybe I could justify splitters using energy because maybe they have a little sort of energy. Maybe the reason they can split is because they've got a little reactor on board. I'll say that. Anyway, they're panicking now. So I think I might win this. I kind of wanted to show off the splitters because they're really fun when they get. They're firing thermals at me. I won. Good. So, well, thanks for coming, everybody. I'm going to call it a day there. Heavy warheads, quite fun to use. They're quite big boys, and you've seen all of those. So I'm going to carry on adding more cards every week, and hopefully the game will continue to get better. I enjoyed that one though. Also might make it a little bit more exciting as you get more devastated on Earth. Like maybe you get transmissions from Earth. Oh, please come quickly. Eventually, it won't be such a linear. There'll be more of a map, and you can kind of go on diversions. And you're always going to have a little gravity towards Earth because they're going to be going, please. They've eaten my mum or something like that. So lots of things coming up. So yeah, thanks everyone for coming. Yeah, if you haven't followed already, follow for more updates, wish list, all of that jazz, and I will see you next time. All the best.